Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of RantsAboutTech Live, number 137 for Wednesday, August 6th. I'm here in Philadelphia with you. I'm your host, Rod. It's a cloudy day here in Philadelphia. I hope you guys are having better weather than I am out there. I'm here with some of my good friends in the chat right now. Co-hosts, if you will. Co-host of the show. So this is where we talk about the tech news of the day. We talk about eInk news of the day. We also talk about some maker news stuff like crafting machines, like CNC machines, cutting machines, stuff like that. If you're into hobbies, if you're into tech, this is probably the place for you. I'm glad to have you. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of more tech news today. Some Google stuff. We're going to be talking about Notebook LM lowering the age restriction they had on the platform, which I wasn't currently aware of until I read the story. We also have a little bit of news on some some music making tools from AI. 11 Labs came out with their music generator, which is something I've been seriously interested in for a very long time and have been looking for tools to do that kind of thing. And I think that's going to be a big boon for creators who like to make music, or just creators who want to put a little bit of music in their productions like me. So that's going to be good. How you guys doing out there? I hope you're doing well. Any news that you guys might want to talk about, feel free to throw that in the chat. If something I'm not bringing up that you think is pressing for the day. I do get news started a little bit early, so we're going to keep our eye on what's happening throughout the live stream to see if anything pops up while we're doing our thing here. But to start off today, we're going to talk about today's holidays. Today we got, what do we got here? Oh boy, what do we got? My bad, you guys. Today, August 6th, we got Root Beer Float Day. It's a national holiday. We got Summer Bank Holiday in England and Wales, International Whale Shark Day, and National Toasted Marshmallow Day. If you're into toasted marshmallows. If you're into that kind of thing. NH, how's it going? Any user reviews on your nibs? Is the writing experience better than the Supernote ceramic nib? We can talk about that. It's okay. It's okay. I need to turn down the volume on these glasses. They get distracting during the live stream. I love it, but I haven't gotten any reviews back. I just sent them out Monday. So Monday is when they got sent out. Maybe someone might be getting them today. If they live in the Northeast, they'll probably be getting theirs today or tomorrow. Most people won't be getting them until about Friday, though, I would think. But I'm super interested in getting reviews back on the Crystal Nib, NH. And thanks for joining, by the way. Yeah, so the Crystal Nibs went out this past Friday. So it hasn't been that long since they sold, and like I said, Monday since I sent them out. So we'll be getting some feedback soon. I'm super excited for it though. What have we got here? The first thing we're going to be talking about is going to be what do we got? Google's Genie 3. If you guys haven't seen that, that's a pretty interesting demo. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Google's Genie 3 is basically a model. Can we go over here? It's basically a model that creates video. So you get video generation through this, but it does it in a unique way to where it's streaming consistent video. So you can do things like create digital worlds with it. And this is kind of how they've marketed it, at least initially. But the thing is about this is that it's not available to anyone except for internal Google use. So it's very impressive. If you guys haven't seen this particular technology, very impressive. We're going to take a look at some of the video here.
Not games?
Let's take a look at some of the video here we got.
Or videos. They're worlds. Each one of these is an interactive environment generated by Genie 3, a new frontier for world models. With Genie 3,
basically what
you
you're
can use
seeing here
natural
is
language to generate a variety
just like
of
we
worlds
create video
and explore
prompts,
them interactively.
You would create a prompt to
text
create
prompt.
a world, and the difference is you can move around in this world using the arrow keys, just like you would a PC
Let's
game.
see what it's like to spend some time in a world. Genie 3 has real-time interactivity, meaning that the environment reacts to your movements and actions. You're not walking through a pre-built simulation. Everything you see here is being generated live as you explore it. And Genie 3 has world memory. That's why environments like this one stay consistent. World memory even carries over into your actions.
Oh boy. Oh, there we go.
For example, when I'm painting on this wall, my actions persist. I can look away and generate other parts of the world. But when I look back, the actions I took are still there.
Now, I think that's cool.
And Genie,
I think persistence is going to be really big with this tool. There's a couple caveats we're going to talk about after this video is done.
So you can add new events into your world on the fly. Something like another person or transportation.
That's cool.
Or even something totally unexpected. You can use Genie to explore real-world physics and movement, and all kinds of unique environments. You can generate worlds with distinct geographies, historical settings.
So I see this being good as like something that you can use as a tool to show you other parts of the world or show you certain conditions that you can think up in your head.
And that's just the beginning. Worlds can help with embodied research,
interactive videos for companies. I can see this being huge with
or simulating
in that
dangerous
kind of like industry as well.
Disaster preparedness and emergency training.
Yeah.
World models can open new pathways for learning, agriculture, manufacturing, and more.
This is going to be awesome.
We're excited to see how Genie 3's world simulation can benefit research around the world.
All right, so like I was saying, this is something that's not available, was not going to be available for a little while. So this particular product is not going to be available to the public. They haven't even announced when it's going to be available to the public. They're very short segments of interactive world building. So you probably get about 2 minutes of this kind of interactivity with this particular model. 720p, so it's not like 1080p or 4K or anything. So it's 1080, which is, it's still good, right? I mean that's what I'm in right now is 720 coming through on YouTube for this live stream. So it's still relatively good. I think it's what do we got here? What else? What other stats we got for this particular model? Very expensive to run, so that's another reason why it probably won't be available to the public like that. And right now it's being used as an internal AI agent training tool for Google. So this is not something, like I said, that's going to be coming to anyone to use soon. But I think it's a good indication of where AI is going and the things that they can do with AI. I think it's very impressive. I think it's going to be very, very cool indeed. Especially when the clips get longer, right? It's 2 minutes right now for a clip, but or interactive playtime in whatever world it's creating. But when we get to like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you know what I mean? It's still going to be a long way to go, but you can see where this is going. They're just going to build on this to where you can kind of spend 24 hours in a virtual world, right? Very cool stuff. Let's see what else we got up here. Next thing we got on the list here is going to be Notebook LM. Yeah, Notebook LM reducing age restrictions. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So we have Notebook LM reducing age restrictions on their AI tool for not just note taking, but being used as a way to kind of aggregate your information. You can store pictures, notes, store your homework, and then query those entries in a interactive way. You can create videos now. You can create audio podcasts. You can ask questions of these interactive ways of showing you the information. So it's done a really good job of showing people the use cases for AI, and I think that this is just going to be a game changer right here. Let's go to the chat real quick. We got Parm here. How's it going, Parm? I'm in California, and mine is supposed to be here today. So excited. We're talking about the crystal nib here with this particular chat question. Dude, that's awesome. It's supposed to be here today? Be there today, California? All right, so if yours reached you in California already, then chances are that other people's on the Northeast are getting theirs today as well. Like I said, most people should have theirs by or before Friday. So I'm excited. I want to hear all about what you guys put them in. Like I want to get feedback on what you put them in and how they work with the device that you put it in, as far as how it feels, and then let me know about the writing experience on the device that you're using. That would be kind of cool. That would be really cool. What else we got here? Yeah, let's go ahead and go through this article. This is a short article. We can go ahead and read through this article they have here for notebook reducing the age restrictions here. All right, so are we on here? We are. All right, so Google's AI note-taking app is now open to younger users, having previously been limited to users 18 and older. The tech giant announced that Notebook LM is available to Google Workspace for education users of any age and for consumers age 13 and up. Wow, that's users of any age for Workspace for education users. That's crucial. The removal of age restrictions is intended to provide younger students with access to the AI research tool, allowing them to better understand their class materials. Now students can access features such as the ability to convert notes into podcasts like audio overviews, visually summarize ideas with interactive mind maps, and more. Notebook LM recently released video overviews to let users turn notes, PDFs, and images into visual presentations. This expansion comes amid increasing concerns about the use of AI in education regarding data privacy and potential misuse. Google says that Notebook LM enforces stricter content policies for users under 18 to prevent inappropriate responses. And user chats and uploads are not viewed by humans or used for AI training. So that just keeps younger users' data private. The availability of Notebook LM for younger users follows OpenAI's introduction to a study mode for ChatGPT, indicating that companies are ramping up competition in the AI education sector. I definitely think that AI is becoming huge in the education sector, as it should, right? And I think the more tools we have available to people that learn different ways, the better. Just like we talked about earlier this week about the video getting added to Notebook LM, or was that late last week? We talked about it on a live here recently, and just adding new ways of introducing students and just anyone who wants to learn new ways of introducing information to people, whether that's like video, whether that's showing them slides, because you can do interactive slides on Notebook LM as well. The audio podcast that you can ask questions of the host if you're lost on a particular part of the information. It's really getting good for anyone who wants to learn to be able to learn. And I think that's the goal here. That's what's awesome about this. All right, next up we have 11 Labs reveals AI music generator, and it is full commercial, and it has full commercial rights. Now that's important. So not only can you make music, and I think Google has a music maker as well where you can make music, but I don't think it has like the licensing and full commercial support that this particular app has. Let's go through this real quick. 11 Labs, a popular AI voice generator, has taken a new route with its latest product. The company is now offering an AI music generator, and it is completely free to use commercially. That means that any music generated using the tool can be used in commercial settings like YouTube videos, movies, and advertising. And this is why I've been looking into this kind of thing for myself, is because I add music to my videos when I make YouTube videos, and a lot of that obviously is copyright material that you have to pay to use. This would make it so that you can create something relatively good sounding and not have to worry about having to pay to use it. And I know that I know that sounds crazy because artists should be getting compensated for their work, especially the artists that they're training these models on, right? And we know that they're training the models on actual artists, but it just frees people up to use things that they would not normally be able to use and tell stories in ways that they would not normally be able to tell stories without access to these kind of things. And just giving this access to anybody who wants to use it is just like, it just opens up creativity for people who would not normally be able to express themselves in that way. And I think that's great. All right, what else we got here? As part of this new tool and its training process, 11 Labs partnered with Melkin Network and Cobalt Music Group. These are two digital publishing platforms supporting smaller artists. Our clients benefit directly from this agreement in several ways. It opens a new revenue stream in a growing market, includes revenue sharing so they participate in the upside, provides strong safeguards against infringement and misuse, and offers favorable terms comparable to other publishing and recording rights holders. A representative from Cobalt and TechCrunch To use the tool, users simply enter a prompt similar to the way they would use a chatbot or image generator. For example, create an early 2000s pop song with lyrics about a romantic date. Now, I did not anticipate the lyrics being a part of this. That's very cool. Like many other areas of generative AI, this is a world that comes with a lot of legal issues, as you can imagine. Previous music generators have had criticism from record labels, and even though 11 Labs has the support of the record labels in its training on, this could still be problematic. I could find 100 ways that this could be problematic, whether they have the ability to use or the rights to use this or not. Like someone's going to find a problem with this. Just like I just thought about like just compensating artists that this thing is trained on. I know someone is going to be able to point out that they were trained on artists in some kind of way, and how are those artists being compensated? At the very least, it's going to open conversation as to how this whole thing works. All right, The Rock is in the chat. How's it going, Rock? Appreciate you joining. It's always amazing to me how music seems to be the most locked down. Am I over here? To be the most locked down on reuse. Imagine if things were the same, like you needed to pay a license fee to use that mic and camera. At least not yet. Yeah, and that ties into the subscription fee argument too, right? How not just services are being, or services have a subscription fee involved with them, and we've kind of gotten used to that over the years. But now physical things have a subscription fee, and that's becoming the weird thing that's going on in tech. But yeah, I can see that being a thing, like in the future. Everything seems to be going that way. All right, let's go on to the next story we got here. We got TechCrunch with this story. 3 weeks after acquiring Windsurf, Cognition offers staff the exit door. Now, this just goes with my story I was talking about for the last week or so. I updated on this twice in the past about the Cognition purchase of, or Google's purchase of Cognition, or Windsurf rather. And they didn't really purchase Windsurf. They purchased the CEO of Windsurf. They purchased some of the top minds at Windsurf. But because of their being smart about how they acquire things and in the acquisition game, purchasing companies raises a lot of red flags, antitrust, monopolies, things like that. But when you're just hiring talent, just poaching talent away, that doesn't raise too many red flags. And that's kind of how Google decided to do this. Now, I just initially thought when I heard this story, what's happening with the rest of the staff? I updated the story again, saying that the staff was being compensated well by Cognition, which is the company that was buying the remainder of the staff that was left behind after Google snatched up Windsurf CEO and top minds. So Cognition snatched up everybody else. They compensated them with money. So everyone seemed to be happy. But then the other shoe dropped. So now we have here Cognition, the AI coding startup that acquired rival company Windsurf 3 weeks ago, laid off 30 employees last week and is offering buyouts to the roughly 200 remaining employees on the team. This is the latest bout of whiplash that Windsurf employees have faced after a tumultuous stretch for the company. The startup was initially almost acquired by OpenAI, then lost its CEO and co-founder and research leads to Google in a $2.4 billion deal known as a reverse acquihire, where Google hired the key talent rather than buying the company before ultimately getting acquired by Cognition. At the time of the acquisition, Cognition stated that 100% of Windsurf employees would receive financial compensation as part of the deal, and stressed that the company was excited to bring on Windsurf's world-class people to develop top-notch coding tools, which, from my understanding, the top-notch people they're talking about was a bunch of marketing people at that point, because Google had hired all the minds behind the AI. Now it's becoming clear that Windsurf's intellectual property, not its talent, was the real buy, which why everything kind of stunk to me. It was like, okay, yeah, I thought they were going to do something weird to the employees or with the employees. So when they offered the money, I thought, okay, cool. They're not doing anything nefarious here. But I mean, this is not nefarious. This is just business, right? But they didn't they didn't hold up for long. According to an email, the information viewed, employees were given until August 10th to decide whether they wanted to take the buyout, which amounts to 9 months of salary. Those who chose to stay are reportedly required to spend 6 days at the office and clock more than 80 hours a week. Draconian conditions that have become stable stakes amongst workers at the top AI firms. So I guess they're saying that this is working 6 hours or 6 days a week and 80 hours a week is kind of like par for the course for AI firms. But it wasn't the case for these Windsurf employees. I guess they were their work schedule was a lot different than this normality that's built up in the AI industry. We don't believe in work-life balance. Wow. Incredible. Building the future of software engineering is a mission we all care so deeply about that we couldn't possibly separate the two, wrote Cognition CEO Scott Wu in the email. That is interesting. I mean, yeah, that's an unforgiving take on this. So I think that this is interesting, just because it brings some finality, some closure to the whole Windsurf thing that I've been covering for almost a month now. It's kind of what I thought was going to happen in the beginning. They just prolonged it. They're like, no, you can run. We're not going to do anything. Go ahead, run. Just. The Rock says, "Wow, AI firms are doing the same crunch schedule as the gaming industry." Yeah, it's very similar to the gaming industry. That's a very good analogy there. They need to unionize. Never. It's never going to happen. AI is moving so fast, and companies have a vested interest in being the first to do certain things. So I don't see this slowing down at all. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. I think this is going to be the way that it just goes from now on, but we'll see. What else we got here? We got DJI Osmo 360 versus Insta360's X5. So we got this review coming up here. So let's take a look at this. Now, I'm not a stand for Insta360, right? I do like them. I do think they make good products. And if you were to pit them against anybody right now, especially for the 360 market, I would say I'd pick the Insta360 variant of whatever. This was on my radar because Aaron from 2530 Media brought up this particular device, the DJI Osmo, in the conversation we were having about 360 cameras. I actually have the X5 that they're comparing the Osmo. What Osmo is this? This Osmo against, and it's cool. And from what I understand, there's a few interesting tidbits that are, or a few things that are different, and a few things that are the same. Just to bring up those similarities real quick, both are 8K 360 cameras. Both have IPA 68 rating, water rating, and dust rating, and they're both 360. They're both 360 cams. The differences are a lot, though. The shape is different, obviously, as you can see here. Insta360 is best for underwater, as this review points out. Now, this is something I didn't know. I just assumed the DJI Osmo was waterproof. Though it does have an IP rating of 68, it's not, I guess, seemingly waterproof because they suggested you don't put this in water. But the Insta360 X5 is totally able to be submerged into, I think, 16 or 15 meters of water. So it's good to go in water, and I've actually taken multiple of my Insta360 or Insta360 cameras into water and never had a problem with them. So I just assumed that the Osmo would do the same, but not so. What else we got here? Replaceable lenses. So one of the big things for me for buying the Insta360 variant for my 360 camera was the fact that you can replace the 360 lenses. I've broken multiple 360 camera lenses, and at that point, once you do that, you have to replace the 360 camera because you couldn't just replace the lens. The Insta360 X5, the big thing about it is that you can replace the 360 lenses altogether. Saves me like $300 a pop. So I love that, and that was the reason I upgraded to the X5. And if not for that feature, I would not have upgraded. So big reason for me buying the X5. And it's something that it still holds over other competitors even now. What else we got here? Storage. The Osmo has 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, and the X5 doesn't have any onboard storage. Now, that's something that can be huge. I've forgotten memory cards many a times when I'm flying my DJI drone, and it's awesome that the DJI drones also have backup storage. So I've never forgotten a memory card for the 360. But I mean, it can't hurt, right? To have that storage that's just there all the time. You can also obviously throw an SD card in there and expand on that storage, or just use the SD card exclusively. But I think it's very cool to have onboard storage. Battery life, both about the same. Even though the Insta360 has a bigger battery, the reviewer points out that the battery life seems to kind of even out. Because of how they're processing the images, maybe. Image quality, 10-bit video on the Osmo. I mean, if you're into video quality or color grading your video, that's going to be huge to have that flexibility in your image. That just gives you more information. So when you go to color grade, change colors, change saturation or sharpness and all of that, the image will hold up a lot better when you're changing those settings if you have a higher bit rate. And the 10-bit is better than the 8-bit that's in the Insta360 X5. And that's big. That's huge. I don't really color grade 360 footage like that, but if I was into color grading 360 footage, that would be huge for me. What else we got that the reviewer brought up? Frames per second. I didn't think that was a big deal. Frames per second is 60 frames per second for the Osmo. Or 50 frames per second for the Osmo and 30 frames per second for the X5. I don't think that's a big deal when you talk about frame rates, unless you're hitting that 60 frames per second mark. If DJI had hit that 60 frames per second, then we'd have something. But 50 frames per second, yeah, it's negligible once you're past 30 frames a second until you hit that 60 frames a second. What else we got here? I think that's all the big differences here. The sensor size is bigger. So you're going to, like I said, the 10-bit plus a bigger sensor size should mean that the image quality on the Osmo is going to be better than the X5. But I love the image quality on the X5, especially in low light settings. So if you care about low light, and the reviewer pointed that out here too, and this review is coming from Tech Radar. I have all of these links in the description if you guys want to check these out. But the reviewer points out as well that that the X5 and the image quality on the Osmo, though the Osmo has better specs, bigger sensor, more bit rate, higher bit rate, it didn't like translate into a markedly better image. And I love the image coming out of the X5. And like I said, especially low light, so I'm okay with that. So if you guys are interested, yeah, check that out. I just thought that was interesting because Aaron was talking about that, and I figured it would be nice to see what a reviewer thought of the finer details between those two cameras. All right, what else we have here? We have YouTuber tested the Galaxy Z Fold 7's durability, and here's what happened after 200,000 folds. Now, we watched a part of this yesterday, and my bad if you watched the stream yesterday. I had the video playing in the background, forgot to turn the video off, and went on to a different segment, and the guy was just speaking in the background. My bad, chat. My bad. But anyway, to follow up on this, whoa, Shing says, we'll get into that in a second. But to finish up here, we went over this particular story here yesterday, and the guy, I thought we could catch it live, him actually folding the phone, but the live had already ended before he reached his goal. But just to follow up on that, here are the finer details of that story. So Samsung's latest foldable flagship, the Galaxy Z Fold 7, is rated up to survive up to 500,000 folds, twice the number of the previous Z Fold device that company has released. To see just how well the new phone stands up to the test of everyday use, a YouTuber by the name of TechIt has spent the past several days folding the phone by hand over 200,000 times. One reason the YouTuber decided to unfold the phone by hand is to try to emulate real-world usage. While folding machines are fine for standard testing, they also always open and close the device at the same speed and force. By doing all of the folding manually by hand, TechIt is able to organically add real-world variables to the situation. Okay, interesting. And while the Samsung says the Z Fold 7 is rated for up to 500,000 folds, the YouTuber noted that the phone began to run into some issues after just 6,000 folds. Now, these issues might not be entirely related to the folding of the device, but they do raise some concern about its long-term durability. I've read through this. We're going to go through it. I don't see anything crazy here that they brought up. But let's go through some of those things here. So how exactly did the Z Fold 7 fare against the test? According to the final video, as well as a summary document shared by the TechIt team, several issues were noted during the test. First, as noted above, the phone ran into issues just after 6,000 folds. TechIt says that between 6,000 and 10,000 folds, the phone experienced a reboot error, which it then experienced roughly every 10,000 folds afterwards. From there, the YouTuber also noted that the phone began to make creaking noises around the hinge after 46,000 folds. But the issues don't stop there. At 75,000 folds, the team noted that an unknown black liquid leaked from the hinge. It never showed up again, but that's certainly not something any phone owner wants to see. From there, the issues proceeded to get a bit more concerning with the device's speakers, including the top, bottom, and earpiece, all failing to work after 175,000 folds. Beyond that, the YouTuber noted that the hinge became more smoother and to open and close, and that the free stop still works. And while the free stop still works, the elasticity of the Z Fold 7's new folding tech seems to have been lost. These issues are concerning, especially since they all occurred before the phone had even reached 200,000 folds, the listed durability limit of previous Z Fold devices. So 200,000 folds was the previous limit. The new limit is 500,000 folds, and it's saying that it didn't reach that, even the 200,000 folds of the previous generation. If the Z Fold 7 really is rated for 500,000 folds, then it raises concerns about just how many other problems you might run into before you reach that number. Now, I don't think this is an issue. Like, I don't think this is an issue at all, Chad. I think that anytime, like, it's rated for 500,000 folds, but when you continuously do that opening and close nature, that's going to build up heat once you do it continuously. And I guess if the robot did it continuously, the same kind of heat would build up. Never mind. I've already debunked my own theory. I think it's interesting, though. I don't know. It's just something about this says that maybe this isn't how it would normally happen in the real world. I mean, the heat buildup, for one thing, is a thing that wouldn't happen because you're not opening and closing it continuously for hours on end. And the heat buildup would cause some kind of problem with the metal and the innards, I would imagine. And the liquid is probably some kind of lubricant that they had that the heat buildup made kind of ooze out a bit. I'm not sure. But super interesting. I think it was a super interesting test. And I thought that it was just cool that someone thought to even do this. Streamers and their ideas. You got to love it. You got to love it. Let's go to the chat real quick. The chat is talking about the crystal nib. She says, do you like Rod's version better than a Supernote? She says, yes, I have the Hardmail too, and it is totally different experience. Yeah, totally different experience. And I think that, again, I think that's attributed to, again, that my ceramic nib is just, it's got a outside shell that's plastic, so it has some give. Whereas what's surrounding the Supernote nib, which is perfect for the platform, is metal. So it just creates a different feel. Better or worse, it's up to you. But it's definitely different and equally as good. I would say that at the very least. 200,000 folds, assuming 10 folds per hour, that would be over 2 years. probably longer than most would keep a phone. Good call to rock. Quick math. Yeah, that I don't know. The way they're doing it, I think is going to cause problems no matter what. I think that's just going to be something that's going to happen. Last thing we're going to talk about here is going to be the the Meta Ray-Ban stealth stickers go viral but fail to beat safeguards. Now, this is silly because, like, why would you want this? First of all, like, if I'm recording someone, I would want them to know I don't want to be I Spy. If I do, I wouldn't buy the Meta Ray-Bans. I would go buy some I Spy glasses. They have those on the market. But the people will want to try to put something over it. When the thing is blocked, it won't let you record. Like that, they tell you that in the tutorial for the actual device. So someone thought, oh, I don't care what the device says. If you put something over it, no one will see the light, then they won't know you're recording. Well, it just won't record. And so that's what they're finding out here. The device still won't record no matter what. So this is just silly. Someone made some money on TikTok with this. Of course, TikTok, but someone made some money on TikTok over this. This was just silly. This is just a silly waste of time and money right here. I don't know why anybody would think that would be a thing. All right, that's going to be the tech stories for today. How's it going, you guys? We got anything big to talk about? Anything crazy happening? How's you guys' week going? There were a couple of things I wanted to bring up just randomly, though. I think that 11 Labs, the music thing is going to be generator is going to be big. I really think that's going to be big. Also, before we move on, something I wanted to bring up. Like, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about people, kids. Like, they're this dude was talking about the attention span of kids and how he thinks that kids will just be able to multitask better than what we do now, just based off what he's seeing. And I'm just like, and so he gave an example of a kid playing a video game. We're talking about Roblox here, and watching a video. And he was like, they were just really short, quick, like loud videos about the game or people playing the game, but they were really quick, short videos that would just keep coming. So he was like, they're watching videos of the game, they're playing the game, and then they're also messaging their friends. And he was like, whenever they play Roblox, he noticed that all three of those things were happening. And I'm like, man, that's odd. These kids are doing a lot, man, while they're playing a video game. You got to do all that to play a video game. I remember just sitting down in front of my NES, playing Zelda for days on end, needing nothing but that. I didn't even have the cheat book. But boy, when I found out there were cheat books, you best believe I had it sitting right beside me. They were good for everything. Things you would never have figured out in the game, they would just tell you. Those days were awesome. Anyway, so I started thinking, I'm like, that's odd that kids need that much stimulation while playing a video game. Like, as if a video game isn't stimulating enough. And then I started thinking about my own video gaming. And I'm like, Rod, that's exactly how you video game right now. Like, if I'm playing a video game, you best believe I got a video up on a topic or a part of the game that I'm playing, or maybe giving me specs on something that I'm researching. But I'm always like, video games have gotten so complicated, you got to do research. So you need the game up in some capacity other than the video game that you're playing. Whether that's a web page that's showing you something or talking about something, or whether that's a video talking about or showing something. Video could be like the thing, because you could play a video in the background, listen to it passively, and when you're not engaging in the game, look over at the video. So then I started thinking, okay, so maybe I do partake in videos, or at least a web page, while I'm doing my video gaming. So okay, you got me, you got me there. I'm no different than the kids in that respect. But then I'm like, I don't need to be messaging my friends when I'm playing. But then I thought, chat, I'm in Discord. Of course I'm messaging my friends. So I'm doing, then I realized it hit me. I'm doing the same thing as these kids. I'm playing a video game. I got either a web page of the video game or about the video game or a video about the video game up. And then I'm on Discord. Either I'm in the RantsAboutTech Discord when I'm gaming, or I'm in a gaming Discord dedicated to the game I'm playing or something like that. But I'm messaging people. Same thing the kids are doing. All right, how many of us out there do the same thing? If you're a gamer of any kind, of any type, I guess this more relates to PC gamers. I don't think console, you know what, console gamers could be the same way. You could be on your console in the living room, have Discord up on the phone, but then we're the web page and the video. Like, I don't know. Is it just me? Am I so far gone as a video gamer that I'm doing things that most gamers don't do? You guys let me know. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some eInk news here. So there's only one eInk story I want to talk about and just to bring up really quickly, and that is the ColorSoft 2025 refresh. So that's not huge news, granted. I get it. I totally get it. It's not the hugest of news. But the ColorSoft, it was the OG for bringing out the new improved Kaleido 3 screen that we all drooled over when it first came out. So it's, you know, an ode to the Kindlesoft, even though I'm not a Kindlesoft owner. Oh, snap, no. Aaron, thanks, man. 2530 Media, I appreciate you, brother. Let's get the air horns going for Aaron. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I haven't been able to differentiate between Aaron. Thanks, I appreciate it. I haven't been able to differentiate between the super thanks and the super chat. I gotta learn the difference. Sheen says, when I game, I generally just have my Steam Deck in my hand and that's it. So yeah, I'm like, and I thought it was weird when I heard it, but then I was like, man, like why? Well, what do we got here? Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so that was my eInk news for today. Anything else going on out there in the eInk sphere? They released the refresh, but that refresh isn't actually, let's take another look at that. That refresh isn't in the US though. It's sketchy reading Goody Reader articles. They're never really clear on a lot of things. They say things like better color, improved speed. Like what does that even mean, bro? Give me some specs. I get it if you don't know, but why are we talking about it? Yeah, not in the States. I think the UK. Yeah. So ColorSoft has been released in the United Kingdom and Japan. Not in the States as of yet. So if you're looking forward to this bump, this update, this refresh for the Kindlesoft, it's coming. I would imagine it's definitely coming to the US if they've released it. So Sheen says, anyone else considering installing OS 26 on their devices? I'm going to. I only have the iPhone, but I'm going to. What'd you think of it, Aaron? Anything stick out to you? Actually, first, do you guys like the OS 26 design on anything? Assuming you've had a chance to try it on multiple Apple devices, do you like the design on any of the devices? I don't like it on the phone. I already know that. My brother and I have talked about that. I don't like it on the device, and I've seen it. But I haven't seen it on the iPad in like use yet. I might have to just go steal Amy's iPad and use it for a day. And I haven't updated my Mac yet because I just don't. I'm going to update. I just been holding off because I'm like, I want to enjoy not having this glittery OS for a little while longer. NH says I'm straight up Android. I mean, I'm both. Bang bang. I'm both. I like Apple and I like Android or Google. I'm in the Android ecosystem and iOS ecosystem for a few things. I mean, I gotta have an iPhone because in these day and ages, to me, and if you're in tech, you need an iPhone just to know what's going on. And I love my Mac, so I would never. And I love my Mac, so I can't. When I defected from being a total Apple ecosystem person, I couldn't leave behind the Mac. I had to bring it with me. iPad seems the same as the iPhone, says Aaron. Cool. BM says I wait a month before I hear the real life product problems, and then yes, and that's a good. Listen, let the early adopters suffer, right? And I'm one of them other early adopters. Let them go through the pains, and then you swoop in after they've got all the bugs fixed, right? That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Okay, wow, we're at an hour. I think I'm gonna try to cut it there. Thank you for joining me, everybody. This is going to be the end of the show. I appreciate everyone for joining me for this Wednesday. We made it to halfway through the week. We only got 2 more days, you guys. 2 more days for the end of the week, and then we got it. I'm looking forward to seeing people's feedback and reviews on the. Well, maybe not reviews, but definitely your feedback on the crystal nib when it comes. Anybody seeing this that got a chance to get a crystal nib and and you have yours and you had a chance to use it and you have impressions, let me know. Throw it in the comments of the video. We'll be back Thursday and Friday, so if you want to join the live stream those days, let me know how you feel about it, whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you're indifferent, whether you're like, what, this is the worst piece of trash ever. I want to know. I want to know. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining Rants About Tech Live, Monday through Friday, every day during the week, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. Yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace. Oh, snap. NH, that's you with the pickup. Yes, I did get your email with the email regarding the pickup. I'll email you right after the show. But I'm able to do it today. I got it all packed up for you. Okay. Peace. Oh, that was the wrong button. Oh boy. We got awesome coffee shops here in Philly, in downtown Philly. Call it Center City though. If you say downtown, they'll probably direct you somewhere else. So when you get here and you're like, is there good coffee in the downtown area? Just say, is there good coffee in the Center City area? Because that's the downtown for Philly. But good coffee all around. Good coffee all around. I need a GoFundMe for a Steam Deck for this man. I need a Steam Deck. I do. I need a Steam Deck so bad. I was supposed to end the stream, but that's how bad I need a Steam Deck. It's so many things I have to research. It's like, that's so low on my research list, but I need one so bad. I need to bump it up. Owen's going to kill me if I don't get one. All right, you guys, I'm out.